Meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. Peter, you ready? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
roll call.
Mr. Smith, Ms. Salcho,
Here.
Mr. Lindemann,
Here.
Mr. Ramos, Mr. Bering.
Here, item D, anybody call to the public?
No, sir.
Item 2A, discussion action on the approval of governing board resolution ordering the Douglas Unified School District number 27 hold a special election on November the 5th, 2024 to request authorization to sell or lease district property. Ms. Samaniego, who's going to handle that? You or Mr. Soto?
I'll start, and if he has anything to say. As you know, board, we have brought the resolution, I think this is the third time, for your approval. And this latest requirement was set forth by the changing of the bill, House Bill 2785, which moved up the election to July 30th. So because of that, we were thinking that we could meet all the the expectations regarding compliance with elections. And so per our attorney and the Cochise County officials, we are having to move it to the November 5th election instead of July 30th, just so that we can do all the things that come before that, timelines, dates, publications. And so it's just a resolution change with that date.
So the only significant change is the date?
Yes.
All right. Members of the board, can I get a?
Yeah,
can I
let me
get
put a motion on there. I move to approve the governing board resolution changing the date of the special election.
I second.
Second by Ms. Salchow. Members of the board, discussion.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, I know there's more involved to get ready for the election, but does that mean that we have to rewrite the whole resolution?
No, it's the same resolution, just the change of date.
Just the change of date?
Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Salchow, do you have any questions or
Not,
comments regarding
not
that?
really. I guess my only comment would be that it might not be a bad idea to have it in November. I think more people will vote.
Yes. And that's what our.
Turnout is usually much
attorney
higher, and
recommended.
this is a big election.
Yes.
You know, and of course.
And it's gonna be cheaper for us as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
And the administration's aware too, and I know you're still working on it, this bond that, in the near future, we're going to, hopefully approve it. And then, would it be possible to put it on that same date if we do it in time?
If we do everything that we need to do,
Right.
and we will have a meeting.
The bond for this November? I mean, it will be very challenging. There's a lot
It
of
will be.
documentation. that we need to gather.
Logistically, you couldn't get
I
done
don't
all of the
think so.
requirements or anything?
I honestly don't think so, but, I mean, we can look into it
And of course, there's a lot of community input that has to happen, a
Right.
lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
PR, and I want to make sure we provide as much information to our community so they can make the best educated.
Okay, and the only nexus between that and this was the election date, and that's the reason that I just brought that up
Yes.
as a aside. Members of the board, any other questions or comments? Roll call.
Ms. Salcho,
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann,
Yes.
Mr. Bering.
Yes, item 2B, discussion action on the approval of board contributions for health benefits for fiscal year 2024, 2025. Ms. Amaniego.
In your background, you have the basic dollar amount information. As you know, DUSD governing board has always made an effort to pay for our health insurance benefits for our employees. And so we are one of the few districts that pays 100% for our health insurance benefits. And so this year, through the discussions with Gallagher, who's our consultant, we were able to get really good rates for our insurance. And so I will defer now to Mr. Soto, who can talk to you about those rates. That's part of the information.
Yeah, and I also want to just make a comment on what Mrs. Amaniego was saying, that we're only a few districts that pay fully for employees' health insurance, but I will also add that we're one of the few districts that are considered very healthy. I mean, on a way that we got a discount, we got a 9% discount in insurance, which is huge, which talks about, you know, how healthy with that. There's not a lot of claims, huge claims from our employees. So again, it's a great renewal at a discounted amount, 9% for health insurance and 4% less on dental. So again, it's a huge thing for DUSD. And what we're proposing as an administration is to actually the board contribution to be the same as what the copay gold plan is, which means this is the best plan we have and that Blue Cross Blue Shield offers. And if the employees decide to get that one, will still be at no cost to them. Which in the past, I believe last year they were paying like $20 or a little bit less than $20 to be on that plan as an employee only. But now the district can cover all of those plans. For family coverage, there's a reduction of probably, depending if it's 21 or 26 pays that the employee chooses, it can vary from $15 to $20 less, or up to $30 less per paycheck to pay for a family coverage. So again, we're really happy that we were able to get this. Vision insurance stayed the same, but we were able to get more. And Mr. Manego, correct me if I'm wrong, but
An enhanced plan.
an enhanced plan for visions. What that means is that you can get frames for a little more money, and I believe it's up to $200 that the insurance is going to cover. So again, to me, it's a great year in terms of insurance. So happy to say that we're going to continue offering free health insurance for our employees. And again, if they decide to take on that better plan, will still be at no cost to the employee.
Okay, let's get a motion on the floor for discussion.
I move to approve the board contributions for health benefits for fiscal year 24-25.
Ms. Alchasa?
I second.
Let me just ask the first question here. How many of the district employees actually avail themselves to that?
To the insurance?
To the insurance, we have an average of 380, 385. It fluctuates.
And out of how many total employees?
550?
We have close to 500 employees, let's just say. There's a variance because when we talk about FTEs, or we have actual bodies, because we have a lot of part-timers and all of that, but roughly 500, I would say, employees. So 380 take advantage of that.
What is the threshold for the amount of hours that they need to work a week to be eligible for that?
6 or more hours is considered full-time. Less than that is part-time.
Members of the board.
I just want to ask you to refresh my memory for the employees that don't, say their spouse has insurance through the government or something like that, and so they don't qualify.
take it, correct.
What do we do for them? Nothing?
They just decline the
Okay.
coverage because they have coverage with either the spouse or from somebody else, yes.
So we don't give, let's
There's no
say,
incentives
and I'm sorry, I know you were gonna answer this, but if the contribution is, let's say, 8,520,
Right.
and they decline that, we don't give the 8,520 back to the employee, part of their, as a stipend or
Right.
insurance
Right,
or
yeah.
back to
Incentive,
their
yeah.
checks. If
Well,
that's what
that's-
you're
There was a
asking.
Yeah.
time when the district did do that. A few years ago, the district was doing that. If they didn't take
Really?
it, they took that in lieu of the insurance.
And I don't know,
if you
I know,
remember that.
I think you
I wasn't
asked
here.
at one time,
Right,
last year,
yeah.
Mr. Lindeman, I don't know if that's the direction or of, what the board would like to do.
No, absent that, no, I'm not
Yeah.
suggesting it, I'm just saying. And then, Jana, go ahead.
I really don't have any questions about this. I'm pleased that we can still offer and at a reduced rate even, but that our employees won't lose out. I think that's extremely important.
Okay, now we got all the information, but for public consumption, what is the total amount?
The total amount projected, depending on the number of employees, of course, it will, this year will be $3,998,633. Now, with the projected 9% discount, the savings will be roughly $360,000 around.
But see, all of that is budgeted, right?
Correct.
So, gosh, I hate to see somebody lose out just because they have a different insurance. You know, if I went back to work, I'd have Medicare.
Mhm.
I'd lose out. Does that seem
Yeah.
fair?
It's not, but that's the reason why we're still able to, you know, provide free health insurance to our employees. If we were given to the 500 employees $8,000, then
Well,
we
true.
will start have
Yeah.
to, you know, charge for
For
insurance.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I understand your point. I mean, it's not my fault that I have coverage somewhere else, right? I
True,
mean,
yeah.
And it's,
Okay, just hypothetical.
So we're looking at roughly about the cost for us, about 3,600,000.
it's a little
some,
less than that.
uh-huh.
And again, keep in mind that that's
Out of our
all
M&O.
employees and not completely from M&O, because
Yes.
we have different people coded to different funds.
And the
So-
contribution that you are recommending from the board is exactly what amount?
$670.25 per month, which is $8,043 per year.
Okay.
Members of the board, any further discussion regarding that?
No.
Anything you want to add? Roll
Ms.
call.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item 3, first of all, I noticed Mr. Grijalva walked in. Did you want to address the board for something, Mr. Grijalva? All right, I'm sorry, I thought maybe he was here for public comments. Executive session, the governing board.
Not yet.
We
I'm
have
sorry.
We
item
have
C.
item
C.
C.
Oh, I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Durazo.
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Durazo.
I'm ahead of myself. Discussion action on the approval of fiscal year 2024-25 employment contract to include benefits for a classified director. Ms. Samaniego.
As we approved all of our administrators last time, Mr. Marco Durazo was left out for the only reason that we still did not have the figures for the health insurance. And he is the only remaining director that the board had approved as grandfathered in to keep that benefit. And so his contract is being presented there with the included amount for his benefits insurance. And he's the only one left.
Okay. And all the figures there.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Lindeman.
I move to approve the fiscal year 24-25 employment contract to include benefits for a classified director.
Second
Second.
by Ms. Salchow. Further discussion? Administration?
No.
Roll call.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes. Item 3. The governing board may vote to go into executive session pursuant to ARS 38-431.03 subsection A number 3 and 4. To consider its position regarding contracts related to the completion of the Douglas High School project that are the subject of negotiations in pending or contemplated litigation or in settlement discussion conducted in order to avoid or resolve litigation. I'll entertain a motion to do that.
I move to enter into executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? And for the sake of, we're not gonna have the whole board here, we don't have anybody here presenting, we'll stay in this room because, are you set up to have the attorney on the line?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, roll call.
Ms. Salcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindemann?
Yes.
Mr. Breen?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Are you ready, Peter? Okay, we're back in open session, and we're gonna adjourn the executive session, and we're at item 3B. The
Three.
governing board,
3A.
I'm sorry, 3A?
I'm sorry, no, 4A. No, we're not.
3.
3B.
And, yeah, and B, right. So here, we're ready to go with, the, governing board may vote to convene, no, excuse me, consideration employing contract, let's do that one first, all right? Discussion action on the approval of change orders regarding contract with the contractor for Douglas High School, project. Mr. Lindeman.
I move that we approve the change order regarding the contract with the contractor in the amount of $301,750.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Administration, do you want to give any explanation or any further information regarding, what happened here?
Yes, so this amount.
For the public to understand what.
Yes, what we're doing here is there was a settlement proposal sent to the architect from Adolphson and Peterson for the amount of $301,750 for weather delays and complications during the pandemic, which resulted into extending the project for a period of about 18 months. This money is within the terms of the original contract. It doesn't mean it's additional funding to the architect, but within the contract language and the contingency amount that is reserved for things like this. And that's where this amount of money is coming from. And it was negotiated between the A&P staff, the architect, and DUSD.
Mr. Soto, you want to add anything to what she said?
No, that's basically everything there.
Okay, so then we'll move forward, members of the board. This is after extensive conversation with the attorney. This is the posture we're gonna take. Mr. Lemon made the motion, we got a second. We have the item on the floor for action. Does anybody have any further discussion? Anything else before we call for the vote? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindeman?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes. Item 4B, discussion action on the approval of change order regarding contract with architect for architectural services for Douglas High School project. Ms. Samaniego, and you might as well give the name too of the companies, just for specificity.
Yes. There is a request from Sketch Architecture Company for an additional, an amended amount to their original contract in the amount of $60,840. And the same reasons as A&P, the contractor, the architect in this case spent 18 extra months on the project and has requested this additional payment of $60,840.
And of course, you had a lot of conversations.
With the
legal-
architect.
Legal as well.
Yes.
And this is the recommended amount.
Yes.
Can I get a motion?
I move to approve the change order regarding contract with the architect in the amount of $60,840.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion.
He's only billing for 12 months
Instead of the 18.
instead of the 18, yeah.
Yes.
So it's a savings.
Ms. Alchow.
And this amount is much less than what that he would normally charge
Yes,
per
it is.
his hourly rate.
Yes,
or
had
daily
he
rate.
charged the original contract amount, it would have been about $250,000.
Okay, thank you.
And that includes Alan, right?
No, Alan is not
Yeah.
asking for more money.
Okay, so it was just.
This is Sketch
just
Architecture.
immediately That was wrong.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. All right, no further discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindeman?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes, item C, 4C, discussion action on the approval of the 2024-25 employment contracts and benefits for the following staff. Ms. Denise Cox, Assistant Superintendent, and Mr. Cesar Soto, Chief Financial and Operations Officer. Before we get into that, Ms. Samaniego, what's your recommendation on that?
To approve their contract with the amount specified in your background information, salary including benefits for both.
Do you want to give
Sure.
us?
Yes, for
percentage?
3% increase, just as the board approved for certified staff.
Okay, and then again, for public consumption, that's 3%, and then that would make a total of what would be the amount the 3% comes to
For each one,
for each one.
the total,
The base.
the base is for Mr. Cesar Soto, $115,345.14. For Mrs. Cox, $111,354.01.
Okay, and that would be the new amount?
That's the base salary.
Now, so that Mr. Lindeman, if he makes the motion, you make the motion regarding 3% to reflect the numbers that she just read for the record.
I move to approve the contracts for Mr. Soto and Mrs. Cox, including the 3% as recommended by the superintendent.
In the figures that you
benefits.
gave, that 3% reflects, okay?
And the figures, yes.
Okay, very good. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, members of the board, any discussion? Any discussion by the administration?
Just for point of clarification, that was the base salary and then in addition is the benefits that is included.
Right.
Okay?
So for a total amount of,
Uh-huh.
what's the total amount?
for each?
Okay, total amount for Mr. Cesar Soto, $120,645.26. That's salary and benefits. For Mrs. Cox, $122,975.41, salary and benefits.
That's for transparency,
Yes.
so that everybody knows exactly what those figures are. All right, roll call.
Ms. Elcha?
Yes.
Mr. Lindeman?
Yes.
Mr. Berry?
Yes. Anything else you want to add regarding any of that? I hope we took care of Marco, didn't we?
Yes,
Yes, we
Okay,
did.
yeah, we want to make sure we, I'm just kidding. Entertain a motion to adjourn
Move to adjourn.
by Mr. Lindeman, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you, members of the board.
Thank you.
Mr. Grijalva, I'm sorry, I thought you wanted to address the board. Oh, that's the main meeting.
Always, always.
She did.
It's nice to see you.
Good to see you.